Hi, and welcome to Yoga Business Live. Every month on the show, we tackle the business and marketing questions that you, the yoga community, bring to us. And as I mentioned, the past few shows that we're going to change directions a little bit, and I'm going to be inviting in a guest host each and every month so that you get to learn from a variety of yoga professionals. And this month, I am so delighted to be joined by Julia Beauchamp. She is the yoga voice coach, and she is passionate about supporting yoga teachers to make the impact that they know they are here to make. She helps her clients to be more confident, clear, and joyful, to make more money, and to draw in the right students, all while having a ton of fun while doing it. And I am so happy that she is going to be talking with us today about the 3 keys to finding your voice as a yoga teacher. So Julia, thank you so much for being here today on Yoga Business Live.
Hey, Kaylin, thank you. It's really great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this topic, but before we dive into those 3 keys, I'd love to just hear a little bit more from you about your business and the work you do for yoga teachers.
Yeah, great. Well, I've been interested and passionate about getting up in front of a group of people since I was a little kid, and since I was performing the Little Mermaid soundtrack for my grandfather in the living room. And I went on to study theater and acting in school, and that led me very naturally into yoga teaching. And since then, since getting my yoga certification, I've taught over 2,000 hours of group classes and have studied at the internationally renowned physical theater center in Poland, the Grotowski Institute. And it's been really wonderful to see how my interests have come together in the last few years with helping yoga teachers with their presentation, with their performance, with their voice, and also being a yoga teacher at the same time.
Really neat. That's such an important discussion to have. It's to find that authenticity within and to be able to vocalize it and feel comfortable doing so. So thank you today for coming with your expertise and sharing a little bit more about that.
Thanks. Yeah.
So as you mentioned, you have brought us the 3 keys to finding our voice as a yoga teacher. So let's dive right in. What is key number 1?
Great. Well, I want to just clarify that when we're talking about finding your voice, it's a lot about, for me, a lot about finding your physical voice of how you show up, how you use your physical voice, but it's also the message, your unique message coming through you, which is a lot of what you do, Kaylin, more on the branding side of things. Mm-hmm. And then what I do is more like finding it, embodying it, and really experiencing it within yourself and being able to share it outwards.
That's so great.
Yeah, the first key to finding your voice as a yoga teacher is, can we get a drum roll? Connection.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so I think connection cannot be underrated. I think a great question is, why do students come back to your class every week? Why do they come back week after week? And I would argue that it's about the connection. So what is connection for us yoga teachers? I think it's the ability to inspire our students to come back week after week, to be with us, to learn from us, as well as to be with each other.
Yeah.
So the importance of connection ends up being the ability to create this community or tribe around what you're teaching, as well as to create this personal relationship with your students that transforms them, that is really the foundation for the bigger change in their life, not just like better looking abs, but also that bigger transformation, which I find by working with yoga teachers is really the core of what they want to do with their teaching, is this bigger vision of changing the world.
Yeah, I think that's something I teach in my course as well, that you have to have your why or your big idea before you really know what you're going to be teaching, because everything, it's funny how you realize you're saying all these different things, but they kind of are funneled into this one big message. And once you find out what that is, it really helps you connect not only to your students, but to yourself, your authenticity, and to all the other elements of this, business and career that you're trying to develop. Once you have that underlying why, it really helps you branch out in so many different directions. So I think you're right, that first element of connection is so very important for teachers.
Yeah, and there's so many levels of connection. I'm glad you brought up the connection with yourself, because that's where it all starts. And my teacher, Jonathan Bender of WholeSpeak, talks about 9 levels of connection. He lays it out like really clear. And the first is grounding and connection with self. And then it goes all the way out to connection with spirit. So in there, in the middle there, we're connecting with each other on a deeper level too. So there's a lot to explore with connection.
Yeah, no, that's great. I love that as being the first key. So let's move on to that second element, key number 2. What is that for the teacher?
Okay, drum roll, get excited. Second key. Okay, it's confidence. Confidence. And I think confidence, this word just gets thrown around like, oh, just be more confident. But really, what is real confidence? And I want to define confidence as the ability to feel comfortable enough in your own skin to lead others. So comfortable in your skin enough to lead others.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're probably ever at a place where we feel comfortable all the time with no caveats, but comfortable enough. That I think that's a really important distinction to make.
Right, and the importance of that is that you can get caught in all your fears and your shyness and your nervousness and not take action, not take risks, not show up in your biggest sense.
Yeah.
And others are losing the opportunity to transform through your teaching. And you're losing the opportunity to really step into that bigger why, that bigger purpose that you feel called to make in the world.
Yeah. No, that's true. I notice that confidence is often that like missing link in the work I do, as well as people get that clarity of what they want to be doing or teaching, and then they jump right into like, how can I make it into a business, without really embodying it and being like, okay, am I ready to take this on? Am I confident, and do I believe in myself and this idea that it will carry me through when obstacles come up, when naysayers arrive, when those challenges hit me? Am I steadfast enough to kind of carry through? So I totally agree that confidence is a huge piece in building your business, in finding your voice, in self-discovery. It's really a vital element.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing exploration. So like, it's never going to be complete. It's never going to be, I would say it's never actually going to be steadfast. It's always going to be in process. Yeah. And I just want to offer a quick example of this. I went to the Yoga General Conference here in San Francisco and saw MC Yogi. Have you seen him before?
I haven't seen him, but I love his music.
Yeah, his music is awesome, but him live is even more awesome. He is a wacky guy, like this white guy with the, I don't know, he's out there. But he leads this yoga class, and he's having you like clap and like smack your butt, and like and all these white people like pop in and stuff, and it's hilarious. I would never do that stuff otherwise, other than the fact that he embodies this confidence and assurance about bringing this into the world, and you just go with it. You're like, yeah, I want to do that. Yeah.
I think you bring up a good point that when you view someone who is so comfortable in their own skin and confident, that it affects you. So if you as a teacher bring that confidence into the classroom, into the studio, you see it resonate with your students in ways that they become empowered and more confident as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really, it's cool. You see that ripple out effect.
Yeah, and isn't that what we all want? Our students to walk out with these huge smiles on their faces and know that you made an impact on them.
Completely. So I guess time to move on to key number 3. What do you have for us?
It's authenticity.
Nice. Such a good word.
Yeah, and that, again, that's a word that gets thrown around. What is authenticity? And you mentioned it a little earlier. For the sake of yoga teaching and my work, I define authenticity as being fully present in the moment with things as they are without stopping yourself.
I like that.
And I think to connect with your work, like your brand, our yoga brand as teachers is our unique essence, which is our authenticity. And Chris talks about the yoga unicorn. I'm sure that that's been talked about on this show.
Yes.
So authenticity can show up as your logo or like the colors you pick. or the name of your business, but it also is embodied through you at any moment, at all moments, just by being who you are. And you had a great question for me. What was that?
Yeah, I was asking you about how do we, this idea of embodying that power and presence, and I feel like so often we see that in a teacher we admire, and then we feel like the only way to bring that out is to kind of be a version of them or copycat a little, and I would just love to hear your thoughts about that.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I hear that a lot from especially new teachers that are finding
Yes. Mm-hmm.
their essence. And just like confidence, this is something that's always in process.
Mm-hmm.
Your authenticity is your essence. It's like the core of you, so it's always growing with you. And so I think when we see a teacher or study with a teacher that we really admire and we see them being fully immersed in their essence and shining into the world, there's a way that we want to take that into us and start to have it as part of us. And that's part of the process of expanding ourselves as teachers and as leaders. So I think that that's okay, but to a point, like keep coming back, well, what is it that I'm here to say?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that is really important to me? What do I love about practice that I want to share?
Yeah.
Or like, what clothes do I like? What music do I like? Like all the little specific things that make you the unique you. And then the other side of it is this presence in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Shit happens in your class. I don't know, somebody falls over, somebody leaves the room, somebody's unhappy. How do you respond to things in the moment?
Yeah.
A teacher, another person can never do that for you. It's always going to come through you.
Yeah, I heard one of my teachers say that just let the teachings flow through you. That don't get in the way, don't overthink it. Just let that whatever inspired, divine energy, just let that pour through you and out to your students without too much crafting and kind of investigating. Just let it happen, and you'll often surprise yourself by what you find yourself saying or doing in the moment when you are fully present.
Mm. Yeah, I hear that from teachers all the time. They're like, wow, I just tap into source or whatever term they use.
Yeah.
And words come out of my mouth and they're great. And I would have never thought of it myself. So I totally agree.
Yeah, really cool. So I think that, we've moved through the 3 keys, but I know that we want to continue this discussion not only on the show, but afterwards in the Yoga Business Live Facebook group. And if you guys aren't already part of the group, there's a link right below this video that you can join. And for this month's challenge, Julia and I thought it would be really fun to encourage you guys to share your biggest challenge when it comes to finding your voice as a yoga teacher. So what you need to do is pop on over to the Facebook group and leave a comment, and it's a fill in the blank. So when it comes to finding my voice as a yoga teacher, my biggest challenge is. So
yeah, and that voice, like physical voice as well, like, can you be heard, can you be understood, all that kind of physical stuff, as well as the deeper stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. I think it is interesting that voice has those 2 sides, the physical voice of showing up, being loud enough, maybe, having some, tonality changes so that you keep it interesting, or also just feeling empowered and confident to speak your truth. So head on over to the Facebook group, share what your biggest challenge is when it comes to finding your voice as a yoga teacher. And the winner of this month's challenge is going to receive an amazing gift from Julia. It's a warm-up guidebook to get both your voice and your body at your best for every class. It has a $50 value, and she's giving it away free to the yogi whose answer, I'm not sure how we're deciding, but I'm sure you'll know when you see it. That answer, that is the answer and the winner. So head on over to the group, guys, and get chatting about that. And I want to remind you that also if you have any questions that you'd like to see covered on upcoming episodes of Yoga Business Live, you can post them in the Facebook group as well. If you're not already on the Yoga Business Live list, get on the list. And I want to throw it over to Julia so she can tell you guys how you can connect with her and learn more from her as well.
Yeah, thanks, Kaylin. It's been great to be here and talk this through with you, and great to feel the resonance with you.
Yeah.
And also I hope that you all out there are resonating with this. And if what we talked about today really lands for you and you feel like, ooh, this is stuff that I want to work on, develop within myself, that you really want to show up at your best every class, that you really want to, in the big picture, change the world with your message through yoga teaching, then I want to offer you a one-on-one complimentary strategy session with me. It's a Find Your Voice strategy session so that we can talk about where you're at now, where you really want to go, that big picture vision, go big, and look at really what's stopping you, what's that gap in between, so that I can offer some immediate resources to you.
Awesome. And just mention your website again so they can find you there.
Yeah, it's my name.com, so juliabeauchamp.com. The last name is hard to spell, so it's BEAUCHAMP.com. And if you go to the contact page on there, there's a fill out form to sign up for that strategy session.
Cool. And I know you'll be popping into the Facebook group as well to see people's responses, so they can always connect with you there as well, and and see what she's got going on. And we'll choose the winner of the challenge probably in the next 3 weeks or so. So keep an eye out. You have a little bit of time to share what you find your biggest challenge to be in the Facebook group and try to win that guidebook from Julia, which is such a generous and thoughtful gift. Thank you, Julia.
Great. Could I just offer one more thing?
Yes, of course.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure to also invite the yoga teachers in the Bay Area, so in San Francisco, in Oakland, Berkeley, Marin, etc., to my speakers practice group, yoga teacher community practice group next week. So it's going to be a great place where you can get feedback immediately. You'll get up in front of the group twice during that time, as well as learn this practice routine that's in that ebook, step by step, to warm up for the night.
Oh, how much fun. And it's so nice to pair online virtual events with live events. So I strongly encourage you guys, if you're in the Bay Area, go and connect with Julia, say hi, check out the work she's got going on. If today's teaching resounded with you, I can only imagine how amazing doing a live session with her would be. So thank you, Julia, for being our guest host today. It's been a blast. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys next month on the next Yoga Business Live. Take care.